Hey my dears, how are you all doing? Let's get to today's video. Remember, if you want to send a video for Rafito to react to, just send it to afabartovsky@gmail.com. Alright? Well, I have some news for you. I leave it here in the description as the first link and pinned in the comments. So you can join and sign up for our VIP group where you'll know everything about the launch before the pre-launch actually, right? Is that good? I said it was the last time, right, that you'd see me with a jar in my hand, so I won't show it anymore. But anyway, you guys are excited? Just a reminder, guys, it's not going to be just hair products, okay? I showed it, right? I showed it anyway. Sign up at the link that's there. Because now I want to talk to you who are new to the channel. It's your first time here. If so, nice to meet you. I'm Rafa Bartowski. Welcome to my channel. Take this moment and subscribe, and of course, go leave your like, because I know, my dear friends, both guys and girls will leave a like right at the beginning.
A big kiss for you. Hi everyone, how are you? Hi.
I'm good.
Today I'm going to tell you how I got this result with my hair, this color, okay? I was really satisfied with my hair. I'll put a little video here on the side showing how my hair was. And I'm going to start from the beginning because there are a lot of people who might be watching this as their first video here. So my hair had 3 different tones. At the roots, it was my natural roots, right? My hair is dark blonde, kind of ashy. From the roots down to about halfway through the length of my hair, it was golden blonde, which is faded. The length had Colestem 6.1 dye, and from the middle of the length to the ends, it was darker and more reddish because there was leftover pigment from when I was a redhead. So I wanted to stop being a redhead last year, and I ended up just putting 6.1 dye on top. I didn't do any color removal, so the length of my hair, where it was already red, just kept getting more pigment and getting darker. Last year was a really complicated year. So I wasn't really in the right mindset to think about what to do with my hair. That's why I decided to darken it. And I just wanted to use 6.1 and have everything turn out fine. But then as my hair started fading, it kind of turned golden. So I dyed it again. I think I dyed it 2 more times during the year. In February of this year, 2024. I looked at myself and decided that I needed to change. So I wanted to fix the hair I had done, and my goal was to go for golden blonde. I don't think I reached golden blonde. I think it's golden blonde. Strawberry blonde, you know, that reddish blonde. Like that in the middle. The bad part is they'll charge wrong, so I still see it. A bit of orange in it, you know? It's not completely golden, especially in this lighting here. I did a strand test to see how my hair would lighten, how it would turn out.
What beautiful eyes you have, darling.
I reacted to each step because I did it in stages. So I did a strand test to do a bleach wash to see how my hair would lighten after studying a lot. And then I applied the color to see how it would look just on this strand, just in this test, to see how it would turn out, if it would really be the way I wanted. Okay, before doing everything, so I'll leave it here on the side as well. The little video where I was doing the strand test, it was short, not knowing if I should record, if I shouldn't, if I should record vertically, horizontally for YouTube. But I watch a lot of Rafa Bartowski's videos, and I think I'm going to send this video to him. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. But anyway, if I send it, Rafa, sending you a kiss. I love your videos. Well, so now I'm going to show you step by step the whole process of how I got to this shade. You can see that it was darker underneath. The day before, I thought my hair got a lot lighter, but it was still a bit more orange from the middle to the ends. There, in natural light, I think you can really notice the difference in how much it lightened. From the strand I didn't do to the strand I did the beach wash on, right? You can really see the difference. I wasn't sure if I should do the other one to lighten it more, but I decided to test it first to see how it would lift with the color. So I used Inuar's color 12.11 with 8.31. And then, did you use XGT? Look, I let down the rest of my hair here, and especially the inside part since the hair is dark. The difference with the strand was for videos to show my friend, the girl. A friend showed herself, of course, that it lightens really well, but still the top part is darker, see? More orange, you see? So since I'll have to do 1 or 2 cream bleach treatments anyway, I decided to start the first one. I separated the little strand there in a braid, and then how does Rafa like to see it? I wanted to have bought the blonde. But that's what I could get, right, Leon? And I had already seen some photos, other videos of people doing this same procedure with these products, and it worked. So I decided to try them too. All right, just like that, I put it on to see, just so I could have an idea, because I had already done the strand test with this little packet, but it was a packet of powder with 50 grams for 100 ml of developer. And this is how the bleach mixture looks. Now I'm going to add the Escala cornstarch cream, and I used 100 grams of cream to make it like the developer, right? So it was 50 grams of powder, 100 ml of developer, 100 ml or 100 grams of cream. And then I started applying it from the mid-lengths to the ends, really focusing on the ends of the hair, which was the part that was darker and was bothering me the most. And also because I wanted it to lighten all at once, so I wouldn't have to do this process twice. So I started from the back and worked my way up from the bottom. So I always applied the product, avoiding the roots of my hair, only where there was color, and I always spread it really well. And I focused even more from the middle of the strand down, which is where it was more pigmented. And I decided to do a cream bleach treatment instead of bleaching it all at once because I didn't want to lighten my hair too much. I didn't want to make my hair platinum. I just wanted to remove this excess pigment, especially on the ends, and make my hair completely even, and that's what I achieved. So since I divided it into 4 sections, by the time I applied it to the second back section, the first one was already ready to be rinsed out. Look how much it has already lightened. So I went and rinsed my hair in the sink just with water. I rinsed it really well to remove all the excess bleach with conditioner, right? And then I applied a lot of conditioner from the same bottle. Cornstarch Escala conditioner. I used a generous amount to protect my hair while it waited to be fully washed, right? Because like me, it seemed there were still other parts to do. I kept rinsing and applying conditioner so it would stay there, moisturizing. Let's put it that way. With Escala in my hair, at least it's not enough. It ended up raining outside, so I had to come in, and that's how the second part turned out, already rinsed. I did the same thing. I put cream all over my hair, a lot of cream actually, and I also used a little bit of cream. So on this strand where I had done the strand test correctly, it had already had a bleach wash and had already been colored. So in this part, I applied cream to protect it, and then I moved on to the front section. And it's the same thing, but I wanted to show you because I think in the front you can see better how it falls. I was coming from the part, avoiding the hair roots and spreading it completely along the whole strand, massaging it really well. And always, then I would take a little more, apply it from the middle to the ends to see if it could lighten evenly. But I had bought enough product to do it one more time in case I needed to. Yeah, I think that's really important because you need to have enough products when you're doing this kind of thing. So I had bought 3 packs of No and 3 of AX. And that's why I went with the Escala brand because it's an inexpensive cream, easy to find, and you don't feel bad about using it, right? So you don't mind using a lot of it. And in the end, the mixture I made for the front part still had a lot of product left over. And I still have a packet of powder and a closed AX from Yama. Should I do something with it? Well, it's stored away for now. So I kept doing the same process, applying it to the strand on the part that has color without touching the roots, or at least trying not to touch the roots, right? And spreading it really well from the mid-lengths to the ends. Here I've already applied it to both sides, and look at the first side I applied it to. See how much lighter it is already? See? So I rinsed this side first, After waiting a bit, I rinsed the other side as well.
It's just that you can't rinse just the roots.
But it's better to have too much than not enough, right? After rinsing both sides, I washed it well. I
Applied half.
and did a treatment with Natura's mask. And this was the result just from the bleach and cream mix. I was already so happy because I could see my hair was lighter. It wasn't that dark hair that I didn't like. I used PPA cream and oil to finish, also from Natura Lumina, from the Casa de K line. And my hair turned out like this. I also thought that near the roots, it looked a bit more golden, and towards the ends, it was a bit more orange. I always check to see if it was even, but
I think I got results.
for just a light beach wash. Also remembering that this was the hair. The next day, so it wasn't as neat anymore because I slept.
It looks beautiful, sweetie, right?
And it got messy, but I thought it turned out well,
Messy.
beautiful, and I was satisfied with my hair. Then I started parting my hair to see how it looked closer to the roots. And I always think it's a little more golden near the roots because there was less color.
It's golden, coppery.
I'll fix it when I style my hair, and for me that's only on Friday, but for you, it's in just a little bit, okay? I also thought the ends of my hair looked a little split, so I ended up trimming the tips. Look here, sweetie. I liked seeing you cut your bangs. And then on the right side, that's already the final result, right? And this is how my hair looked after I cut it. After I cut it, I regretted it.
The best thing is to trim the ends.
I wish I had recorded it too. And then this is already on Friday. All of this started on Wednesday. There was a break on Thursday and on Friday. I dyed it with the same color, 12-1211 and 831, but I used a different proportion. Then I put a whole tube of 12-1211 and half of 831. It has some little green beads inside, which are argan oil. And for this mixture, I used double the developer. So I had 75 grams of color and I added 150 grams of developer. The same one I showed in Emore's Strand test, the 30 volume developer. This is how the mixture looks. I found it very creamy and consistent. And let's move on to the application. Since I thought the length of my hair was a bit more orange, I used more of the 12.11 than the 831. So because of that, I made a ratio of 1:2. I put
Now you can apply to the roots. It's already done. For 1, the roots to the ends really.
0.8.31 because I wanted
This part to lighten up.
more than the root area, so that was the ratio. And I applied it through my lens. First starting from the back. I always prefer to start from the back to the front because I can see better. I think the hair in the front gets stuck when I do the front first. I think my hair lightens faster. And I also think it makes it harder for me to see what I'm doing in the back. So I always like to start with the back part of my hair.
Well thought out. So
I'm showing you how I'm applying it. As you can see, I'm avoiding the roots. I only apply it from the mid-length to the ends, always using a generous amount of product.
you can't skimp or run out of product.
So I applied it thoroughly and now it's time to add the pigment to make sure all the hair gets colored.
And then I sectioned it off to the side.
This part, I sectioned it like this, you can see clearly. And now I'll show you a little bit of the front part so you can see it better. So the same way, I will
Leaving the roots out.
and applying from the mid-length to the ends because the mixture I'm going to apply to the roots will be different from the mixture I made for the lengths. So guys, as you can see, it's quite a lot of work. You have to be very patient and very careful to do it by yourself.
So
That's why I only recommend you do it if you're really sure about what you're doing, okay? I studied a lot, watched a lot of videos on YouTube. I've already taken several online courses myself, so I know what I'm doing with my hair.
that's why I dared to do it.
And then when I finished applying it to all 4 sections, there was a little bit of dye left. I went over and reapplied it, especially to the lengths and ends, which was where I intended to lighten more, right? Where I needed it to be lighter. Then I made the other mixture. I started by applying it to the roots, and this mixture was in a 1:1 ratio. That is the same amount. I used the same amount of 12.11 as I did of 8.31. And for the developer, I did it in a 1:2 ratio, so you know exactly how I did it. I put half of 12.11 color,
and half of the other.
half of an each order, 8.31 color, and 100 ml of 30 volume developer, because that came to 50 grams. So for the ratio to be 1 to 2, which means for every part of color, 2 parts of developer. We use 50 grams of color and 100 milliliters of developer. This always varies depending on the brand of the color. So sometimes it's 1 to 1, 1 to 2, or 1 to 1.5. So you always have to pay attention to that, okay? Now I'm going to separate the strands and apply this mixture, which is a little darker, only on the roots, and I'll blend it down just a little. This is to avoid a harsh line where one color starts and the other ends, especially in the front section. And it's the same process. I keep separating and applying everything. In the end, I also applied it to the strand where I had already done the test, because I wanted everything to be even and it wouldn't make a difference since I'm applying a light color, right? So I started applying it, parting the roots, making sure to do each section properly. Oh, I really want to do my hair so it doesn't get blotchy. You see how these darker parts can't be left like this at all. Yeah, so I'm going to finish applying it, wait for the processing time, and I'll come back with the results. Yeah, I have one side that's washed and conditioned. The hair looks good. I was checking one more time to see if it turned out even, and I think it looks pretty similar. It might not have turned out exactly the same, but I really like the result, and look how it turned out after it dried. This is in fact the result from last Friday's coloring day, and this is how it looks today, Tuesday, May 7, 2024. Here, wrapping up this video finally to show you how my hair turned out. You were curious, weren't you?
I was really curious too.
About the result of all this work. Since I still had good hair, I had to come here. What did you think?
Didi, what did I think? I thought it was wonderful. There's just one thing I would do differently. If you want to keep this shade, I would have left it on longer. The bottom part with the bleach, or use aluminium foil to lighten it more, since it was more reddish underneath when it was dark. So it needed to lighten a little more. But at the same time, I could have also used a lower volume developer on the roots, because then it wouldn't lighten so much. It wouldn't turn out like that. Not that it lightened too much, but it wouldn't turn out so golden. It would lighten less and be more even. But no, I don't see a problem with this difference here. Okay. But the best of all, if I had to choose between the three, I would choose 877 for you, dear Queridona. Seriously, 877 for you. If you use it, it'll be the color meant for you, dear Queridona. I don't know if you have ever used this color before, but if one day you want to try it, dear Queridona, use 877 from Igora, the 20 volume developer at the roots. And you can use 30 volume on the rest. Sweetie, make my dream come true and let me see you with this color. Come on. Oh, you would look amazing, dear Queridona. Amazing. The hair, it ended up almost the same color as your eyes, right? It turned out really. But just a little more coppery. It would bring you more. Dear, you would have power. Not that you don't already. But you would have even more power, and you'd practically unlock superpowers. Dear, not me, dearie, I loved meeting you. It's great, really. Any news, any changes, send it to Rafito. I want to know how you are, okay? Well, that's it. So, did you like it? Does it go well with the conversation? Don't you agree with me that she would look beautiful? From 877, Chinche? Guys, I love this color. I love it. That's it. So guys, that was today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, of course, click like and share it on your social media. Rafito's wrapping up here and may God bless you. Subscribe to the channel. Hugs to everyone and bye.